Good Monday morning. This music, as we continue on our search for new music for the morning break, is called Minimal House. I kind of dig it. I am. I've got to tell you, I'm kind of this. It's kind of growing on me. It's the second time we've done this one. We've got about 6 more to go, and the plan is, and for those of you that have followed along, the show really celebrates a year on the air coming up in October. So we got all kinds of neat changes happening. I jokingly tell my wife that I did this because, well, I knew God had wanted me to, and she wanted me to, and God was telling her that I should do this, and I was like resisting. I was having one of those moments where I didn't want to do it. But we got a lot of neat things coming up with the show, and as we kind of tear down and rebuild after year one, which will be October. So the music idea, it came because, and I got to be honest with you, it came because several of you went, I just don't like your music, which hurt me because I picked it. Then that was fine, and who knows, maybe it'll come back. We have voting coming up in August. We'll tell you then, but we've got a few more to go. But it's called Minimal House. It is it's AI, which, by the way, okay, if you're like I am, over the weekend you saw this. It just really blew up. It's about San Juan, in Puerto Rico, and they land in San Juan. The whole song is it was written by a songwriter, but then AI sings it, and the music and everything is AI related. The problem being, so I gotta be honest with you, we did. Chris and I were out of town. We were in Ypsilanti, Michigan. We did that on Saturday. Isabella's graduation party, my niece, on Saturday. Then we had a concert. I didn't. I don't sing, you know that, but my wife does. We had a concert Saturday night. Then Sunday, Sophia had another niece, had her graduation party. So I'm going to tell you this. We're in the hotel room on Saturday night, and I am watching TikTok. Not that I'm a huge TikTok guy, because I do have a TikTok, but it doesn't blow up. I'm not viral by any stretch. But I was listening to that whole song because we are going to Puerto Rico actually next month. We'll be off. The show takes a hiatus over the holiday, 4th of July. Actually, leave on the 3rd, and we will be back. I believe it's the 17th of July with new shows. But have you heard that whole, landing in Puerto Rico? It's a killer song. But it's all AI, so that kind of freaks me out too. It was written by a songwriter, but everything, voice and music, all AI. How interesting is that? At some point, I know they will be retiring people like me. They were doing that already in radio, which is happening. You're getting AI voice tracked stuff, which is kind of strange. By the way, the hoodie, though it is a little cool today, not super cool, but has a meaning. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit with our guest today, Trey Bailey. But we do want to do our looking cam. We are looking in today in Washington because it's kind of, we call it foreshadowing. The reason why we're going to be talking about this. This is Leavenworth, Washington. If you've never been, Leavenworth, very special to me. My family used to go when I lived in Washington up to Leavenworth. It's a great little Bavarian town. If you like things Bavarian, there are some restaurants you definitely need to check out. Plus, you definitely want to get a pretzel with cheese sauce on it. Oh, goodness, you have not lived. Thanks to great folks at my-snackies.com. That's my-snackies.com for the look-in cam as we continue to highlight great places in the United States and around the world. I tried to do the Space Needle cam again because it's foreshadowing. But unfortunately, the cam is down, which kind of surprised me. So maybe somebody else knows how to access it differently than I did, but I could not find it today. Now, I'd heard they were doing some work up on top of the Space Needle, and maybe the reason why that's the way it is, but that's what's happening. Had a great weekend, like I said, ate a lot of cake. Got to be honest with you. So my cake eating experience started this way. Saturday morning, we have a Bible study. one of the people in our Bible study that my wife and I lead, she was celebrating her birthday on Sunday, but this is Saturday. So we had cake there. Just to give you kind of a cake rundown, okay? So cake there in the morning. It was like 11:15, which is, as I said to the Bible study people, breakfast of champions. Got in the car, drove to Ypsilanti, and got to Ypsilanti, had some really good food, and then more cake, but we're not done. Then went from there to the concert where Kristen sang, and one of our friends, his wife makes Texas sheet cake. So time 3 for Saturday. Sunday at Sophia's graduation, there was more cake. So I've had cake at least 4 times this past weekend. Needless to say, my clothes already feel tighter, and that is not a good thing. But the one thing I will also tell you, whenever you have cake, you've got to have, well, you got to have coffee. And you know, I wanted to talk about this really quick because it is so important. The great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. Listen, you've heard me talk about it, especially in the last 6 months, how fantastic their coffee is. And it truly is. Everyone has, and I was reminded about this over the weekend, everybody has a different taste in coffee. I like my coffee a little more of a dark roast coffee. There are those that like the breakfast blend. Here's the deal, though. And my wife was so smart when she did this. She ordered the variety pack. Now, whether you like the breakfast blend, the medium roast, or like I do, the dark roast. And I also love the espresso, something that they just released over the last few months. It is amazing. Now, here's the deal. They are amazing company and amazing people. And we want you to go to their website. Now, they told me, and this is true, I can't keep a secret. And they knew this. So they said they have some secret deals, but you have to go to the website. It's 7weekscoffee.com. That's 7weekscoffee.com. Use the promo code ATV10 when you order. And like I said, go look for the specials. Yeah, that's really good. Trey Bailey's with us. We're going to do that after this.
Behind every precious life, there was a choice. Behind every family moment, behind every special memory, there was a choice. A life of joy, a life that is beautifully and wonderfully made. At 7 Weeks Coffee, we are funding the pro-life movement, one cup at a time. Will you let your coffee serve a greater purpose?
Thanks to great folks, 7 Weeks Coffee. Now, we were supposed to have them on in May. It's going to be in June. Unfortunately, the founders had a little issue, conflict, scheduling-wise, so we were unable to do that, but I'll be watching this month for an interview with the founders of 7 Weeks Coffee. Now, I am wearing a hoodie. Normally, I don't, but I am wearing a hoodie for the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. And when I first met this gentleman, he had on a Broncos, I believe it was a sweatshirt or maybe a t-shirt. It doesn't matter. They all look the same when you've got a Bronco logo on them. And I immediately felt sorry for him. So we struck up a conversation. And he is one of the hosts of a great show that we're excited to have coming to the network called Sunday Concessions. Trey, he's got
hey,
a cup.
Rob.
He's got a cup. That's all. Which is it's a nice looking cup. Is that where you store your tears every year?
Yeah, it has been for the last decade or so. We're excited about it now. You can gloat all you want. It's okay. You're having your 15 minutes right now.
Gosh. And the sad part about that, Trey, I thought of that. It's like June.
Yeah.
It's already over. Like my time of joy is about to come to an end. And then it will be And here's the thing, and we love sports. And by the way, the show that they've got coming to the network is going to be amazing. You're going to love it.
I appreciate
But
that.
the thing about sports is you have such a short window to celebrate.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can talk about this for right now, but what if the Seahawks start the season 0-3? Yeah, and it could happen. If you looked at the schedule, they could be 0-3 to start the season, and all of a sudden, all that joy is gone.
Yeah, it's really interesting because if you win the Super Bowl, it feels really short, which you're in the middle of right now. But if you don't win the Super Bowl, if Bo Nix, breaks his ankle, right before the AFC Championship game, everything feels like a year waiting for football to come back. So we're really excited. Me and the two hosts of our show. I'm actually like I would call it like a long-term guest is what I'm doing on the show, but yeah, the other two guys, they know football extremely well. We're really excited to be on the Abundant TV network. Really excited for this, Rob. Appreciate it.
So you're kind of the extended guest. So you're like the guy that never leaves.
Yeah, kind of.
You're over in the corner eating the pizza rolls.
Yeah, it's I started this company and I was like, hey, you guys should start a podcast. Also, I'm going to sit in on every single one and just give my unfiltered, unabashed takes, directly to you guys. And they're great. They're great guys. But no, we have a lot of fun. I mean, you've seen it.
Yep.
But yeah, the stuff that we've got planned for this summer too is going to be really, really fun. And we're just so excited to talk about football and finally get back into the season. It's dry right now, so us coming up with content and stuff is it's interesting. Like those talks are very interesting, but we're really excited to have football back.
So Trey mentioned something, and I want to talk about this because I think it's super important. He's got a cool line of stuff. Tell them about your company.
Yeah, so Sunday Concessions is just it's our flagship show, but we're actually called Fan Feed Network. That's our umbrella company, and under the Fan Feed Network umbrella, we have Sunday Concessions, which again, we're so excited to be partnering with Rob on this. But Fan Feed Network, we actually started last year, and I was listening to you at the beginning of this when you were saying you kind of tore things down after year one to kind of rebuild it this year. We kind of did the same thing. Last year, we actually had close to 25 writers writing for us for Fan Feed Network. We kind of did the same thing. We went through the whole season. We had hundreds and hundreds of articles come out for every single team. We had fans of teams come in and write for their favorite team because, that's where the best work comes from, right? Like I'm going to write better for the Broncos than I would for the Seahawks and Seahawks and vice versa. So that's what we did for year one. But then we really took a step back and we were like, you know what? We need to really focus on Christ and we need to put him at the center of everything we do. So we decided to scale back. We told our writers, hey, we loved having you. You're welcome back at any point. But this is the direction we're heading in now. And so we kind of shifted gears a little bit. We kind of nixed the writing aspect of things. But we started up this really cool merchandise side of things. And in there, we create merchandise for every single fan base. It's not just Broncos, I don't even like the Seahawks, but but we got Seahawks gear that I think is really cool, and you got to go look at it. It's on fanfeednetwork.com. And you can find everything there. But yeah, we talk about it a lot on the show. We wear a lot of the stuff on the show, so you can get an in-person view of it. And yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's been a real whirlwind, but throwing together logos for every single team, that still looks like, if you wear a Seahawks shirt, you'll be able to see it. It's not Seahawks branded, but that you're talking about the Seahawks with all the colors, and it says established in I think 1960s when the Seahawks came around. But yeah,
1976.
76. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Broncos are a lot older.
They are.
Got
more Super Bowls too.
Yeah. They do, but when you're that much older,
yeah. It's weird. It's weird. It's weird that the Seattle Seahawks only have one Super Bowl, and it was just this past season.
We have two.
No, it was just the one. I don't remember the other one.
Well, yeah, the other one. Yeah, you probably.
Yeah,
I know Peyton Manning doesn't.
Yeah, yeah.
But we should have had three, but we didn't run the ball. So
yeah.
It's so. And by the way, I've seen this stuff. You will probably see me over time, wear some merch. We're gonna have Trey on regularly on the show. We're gonna talk
Cool.
sports, talk stuff like that. And he and his compadres who are fantasy football guys. So seriously, we had for the audience, we had a meeting. It was supposed to be a meeting to discuss things for the show. It ended up being us talking about fantasy football for like a half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We didn't really get a lot accomplished in the meeting, but we had a great time talking football, talking that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put you on the spot here. Early predictions. I want you to predict your top 3 teams, AFC, top 3 teams, NFC.
Okay. Got it. Top AFC teams. I'm going to say the Buffalo Bills. They'll be up there. I actually don't think that the Chiefs are going to be back up there yet. I just think that Patrick Mahomes and his injury, that takes a long time to come back from. Even if he comes back week 1, he's not going to be 100%. So I don't actually think that the Chiefs will be in the top 3. I do think I'll throw them in. I'll say the Broncos will be up there. I got to put the Broncos in there. I'm trying not to be biased, like when I say this, right? But
I would put the Broncos in my top 3. So.
Yeah, I'll put them in the top 3. I mean, they did just beat Buffalo. This year. And then I'm actually not super huge on Drake May and the Patriots, so I'm not going to throw them up there. But let me see who else. You know what? Give me. It's a good one. That's a good one. See, I don't know who I want to. I don't want to like tie my. I don't want to tie myself to this specific team right now.
So recap while he's stalling. He picked Buffalo and the Broncos so far, and I have a third. So far, I agree with you on the 2.
Yeah,
I've got a third.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna say Cincinnati though. I'm gonna say Cincinnati because Joe Burrow, and we talked about this on a recent pod. Caleb, one of our hosts, he's very big. He thinks that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL, and I can't really argue with that. I think Joe Burrow is incredible. And something that we talked about too is, the Giants last year had a terrible defense. But when Dexter Lawrence was on the field, they had like a top 10 defense just with him being on the field. It went from I think 25th to 10th. Like it was that crazy. Yeah. And they go off this offseason and they trade for Dexter Lawrence. Obviously they lose Trey Hendrickson, but I think it's addition by subtraction, honestly, if you ask me. So
I think they upgraded, to be honest with you.
Yep. And so I'm going to put them up there just because I think Joe Burrow's got a lot to prove, and I think he's going to throw for, close to 5,000 yards this year and win a bunch of shootouts. But we'll see. Their defense can be worse than it was.
I love Joe, and I would agree with you. I would put him in the top 3 quarterbacks, honestly, in the discussion. I just don't see him staying healthy, and that's the big problem. Is with him. So my third is the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh, I was going to say that they were. I was going between them and the Bengals. I like the Jags, but I also have to kind of stick to what I said on last week's pod, where I actually said I think that the Tennessee Titans could be sneaky good. I think this year they could be sneaky good, and I think there is a small chance that the Titans could actually win that division. I said that on our podcast too.
No.
And, just watch out, Robert Saleh. He was in Seattle. Yeah, exactly. You should know.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
I don't think, and I love Cam. Cam played at Washington State. Cam Ward before he went to Miami. I love Cam, and I like what they're building there. I think this is too soon, though. I think this maybe. And now, if you told me next year we were talking about this, I'd say yeah. Because I think Robert Saleh, look what he did with the Jets defense.
Right.
I mean, they were amazing. And the rest of the team sucked, but
Yeah. But that defense, they were very, very good. They were good at takeaways. They were good at, stuffing the run. Everything they did really well. It's just they had terrible quarterback play. And I think you go into a system where they spent, I think it was something like $120 million on the defense this offseason, which is insane, absolutely insane. And I just think that their defense is going to be very improved. Last year, it was, as Cam likes to say, Swiss cheese defense. He says that for everybody that has a really bad defense, but because you can just go in and just dice them up. But anyways, I like so that's the only reason I didn't say the Jaguars for the AFC, but I like the Jaguars a lot. Yeah, I think they're very, very good.
Okay, so we're going to the NFC. Three for the NFC.
Yeah, that's pretty easy for me. So I like Seattle. Obviously, you win the Super Bowl, you got to be in that conversation.
At least maybe through week 3.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see after week 3. I like the Los Angeles Rams. I've been a big Rams guy for probably like the last 3 or 4 years. And I love Kyron Williams, Puka Nacua. Obviously, they go out and they get they go out well. Puka, he's healing, in multiple ways. And we hope that he's going to come back stronger. But yeah, I really like what the Rams are doing. And then let me see. I always get stuck with the third one because I think there's like a steep drop off between like the first 2 teams in each one and then that third team. Gosh. Okay. All right. I'm just going to put Detroit back up there. I think no. Let me switch. I'm going to go back. I'm going to do Chicago. I'm going to throw Chicago in there.
No, see, I love. Here's the thing. And this is really true. Ben Johnson went out to Seattle before Mike McDonald got the job. And I was excited about Ben as the coach. I will tell you, I'm not as impressed after season 1. Now, do they have the Bears are a great team. They're going to be a good team, but I don't think it's just Ben. I think it's a whole. I'll tell you this. I played football. I play for Dan Campbell. I would now. Seriously, if he said, "Hey, buddy, get in there," I'd be like, "Yeah, let's do this."
Yeah.
I'm going to be paralyzed for the rest of my life if I were to run in there and get hit by those guys. But yeah, I love. And here's the problem: I don't think Philadelphia is going to be as good.
Yeah,
I don't.
Same here.
And I think that whole division with Harbaugh moving over to the Giants makes that whole division in play.
Yeah,
not that the Giants are going to win. I'm not that delusional, but I'm just saying.
I don't even think that's delusional to say. And the 3 of us on the podcast, we're all very big on the Giants too, just because you just look at what they go out and do. And my goodness, they go out and they have 2 top 10 picks in the draft. They go get John Harbaugh. You kind of worry for Malik Neighbors' injury because he had that second surgery. But you got Cam Scatterbo coming back. Jackson Dart looked incredible with nothing last year. And I guess you have to, when you have nothing, you gotta, really lay it all out there. But I don't know. I think that division is wide open. Like you said, I think that the Giants could win that division in theory. I like the underdogs. I don't know if you can tell. I like.
Yeah, that's why I like Joe Burrow too. Is he's got that swagger. That's Jackson Dart has swagger. I mean, he walks in and you go, yeah, that's a quarterback.
Right. That's
the one thing I love. I love Sam Darnold because helped us get to the Super Bowl. And you and I have talked about this.
Yeah.
I love Sam. Sam doesn't seem to have that swagger, that kind of like Matthew Stafford has a different kind of swagger. Like Matthew Stafford is now at his age. He's kind of like that uncle that, when he was younger, he was bad dude.
Yeah.
Like, have you seen the thing where he has separated his shoulder and he went back in and threw the touchdown?
Yep.
That's no, I couldn't do that. I mean, I'd be like laying on the ground crying, but and I was a quarterback and I'd have been like, nope, I'm done. I'm out. I'd have been tapping out like, what was the quarterback that tapped out?
Anthony Richardson.
Anthony Richardson. I'd be like, yeah, I'm done. Yeah. So what? So we got that. So now this is the way too early Super Bowl picks. Your 2 Super Bowl picks.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna put the Rams in there. I just think Seattle takes a little step back. So I'm gonna put the Rams in there. And then I will do. See, I don't want to sound biased. I really don't want to sound biased, but I think that the Broncos in the AFC have the most complete team. I do.
I do.
But I'm not going to put that out there yet because go ahead.
But Bo Nix has got to stay healthy.
That's the thing. Yeah. We don't know how that ankle is going to hold up. We hope it's okay. He also had a second surgery on it this offseason for cleanup or whatever that means. Yes. We have no idea what that means, but yeah. Let me see. If I was going to put money on it, I would put money on the Bills and the Rams this year. That's
my pick. Seriously, I can show you. That I think that's where Josh Allen doesn't get the credit.
Yeah.
Because it's an excuse that he in a smaller market in Buffalo, but I just don't think because of Patrick Mahomes, I think he's been overshadowed. I think if Patrick Mahomes isn't in the AFC, you're talking about Josh all the time.
Yeah.
And Joe Burrow. I mean, neither of them could figure out how to win in Kansas City. So
yeah, that's true. You know who has won in Kansas City is Bo Nix.
Yeah.
And to be fair to Joe, Joe Burrow did win a few times in Kansas City. You know, when they were calling it Burrowhead, you know,
yes.
He won a few times, which is I love it. You know, as a Broncos fan, I love anybody who takes down, the evil empire. I love it.
And see, but though you have to admit, and we're going to look back on this 10 years from now and go, holy cow, Patrick Mahomes was like a different cat.
Yeah.
Like he was a different quarterback than anybody. And, I will tell you this, when Kansas City drafted him, I thought, okay.
Yeah, same here.
I wasn't sure when he came out of college. I will be the first to admit, and I talked actually on a sports show about this on radio. And I said, I'm not sure he's that good. And now every time I do that show, they replay that.
Yeah.
They replay that. I don't know about this Patrick Mahomes guy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's scary to like put that stuff out there. And I'll never forget when we drafted Bo Nix, I was like texting my Broncos friends. I was sitting there with my wife and I was like, anybody but Bo Nix, anybody but, and I was saying that out loud. And I'll proudly say that now because I've never been so happy to be so wrong about something, and I'm so excited with our quarterback, but you don't have
and he's
to wait.
A good man.
Yeah,
and he's a good man.
Yep.
And there you go.
God-fearing man. Yeah, yep. Absolutely. Totally. Yeah, we love the message that he puts out. It's so hard to root against him. I mean,
it's real easy actually. Yeah. I was a University of Washington fan when he was at Oregon. I was easy for me to root against Mo picks.
Yeah. Well, that's a different story. That's a different story. He doesn't throw picks in the NFL. Anyways,
he hasn't. And that's the one thing. And I will tell you this, and we talked about this off camera, is I truly believe if he had been around when the Seahawks drafted, they would have taken him. They loved Bo. They thought the world of him. And everybody, even people that played for the University of Washington, loved Bo Nix. They just thought he was a good dude. And that's the killer part. Hey, give him the website.
Yeah. www.fanfeednetwork.com, just like it sounds. Sunday Concessions, we're kind of
this
into
Saturday.
That feed. Yeah.
Great new show coming to the network. The permanent guest, Trey Bailey, along with the folks Sunday Concessions. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
And man, where did the time go? It went by way too fast today. I just looked up and it's time for us to go and get out of here and leave exit stage right even. We got a great show. Sunday Concessions start this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern time on the big network. Hey, listen, we appreciate you. We know you have so many other places to go, things to do. We appreciate you spending part of your work weekday with us here on the Morning Break.